You are listening to Wealthy Muslim Woman Podcast, episode number 33 with Saima Ali, MD. Today we have another guest on our podcast. I am honored to introduce Alia Jamal. Alia Jamal is known as the Love Coach, and she is also a pranic healer. Alia helps women fall in love with themselves inside out and create a life of love from place of love. Her sole mission is to help women connect with energy of love within them, because when a woman falls in love with herself, then the generations to come fall in love with themselves. I love this introduction. Alia was the first person who introduced me to life coaching. And I've been blessed with the wisdom that I have gained from her and from other life coaches as I pursued more knowledge. So without further ado, let's speak with Alia. So Alia, I am so glad and honored to have you on my podcast. Thank you so much for joining and coming and taking your time out. And let's start with, tell us about yourself. I know you're a life coach. How did you get there? Tell us everything.
First of all, thank you so much for having here. I'm just so excited to be here. So I am the love coach and I help women fall in love with themselves inside out. I'm also a pranic healer. So in my practice, I bring the energy aspect of it and the psychological aspect and behavior, all that together. So people can understand on a deeper level how the change occurs, and it could be lasting change, not something they have to come back after 6 months. And I got into coaching to help myself. I was at a point in my life where I needed therapy. I did get it for a little bit, and then I was like, maybe getting a coaching certification would help me to help my own life. That's where I started, and then it was like one thing after the other. I did 4 different certificates for coaching, became a master level coach, became a fully trained energy healer, which is called pranic healing. And it's a little different than Reiki, but energy is same. So that's where I'm at. And I call myself the love coach because I'm all about love. And that's what I teach women. Just love yourself instead of looking it outside. Just go in, and that's where it exists for you.
Wow. What is pranic healing? I think the first time I heard it is from you, and I don't think I still understand what exactly it is.
So pranic healing is a form of energy healing, and prana comes from life force that runs within our body, and it's pretty much part of our soul that kind of like goes into our physical body and runs the apparatus. Like everything is happening involuntarily all the time, and that is the force that's doing it. But what happens with our own thoughts and the environment we are around, or like, other people thinking bad thoughts. So there's like this ether kind of thing in the whole world where we are just spewing our thoughts all the time. So when it get congested, then our own energy body gets congested, and that's when people have all kind of diseases. So it was very interesting to learn all that. I use a lot of pranic psychotherapy with my clients to help them in their emotions. But interested to understand and learn that the energy gets stuck and it's not flowing properly. That's when we have all kind of diseases, and it literally is like magic. You do one healing and it's done distantly, all with the power of our mind and knowing the energy principles, and the person gets better like within 15 minutes. And every time I do a healing on someone, and they get better so quickly, and I do it on myself too, and it's just so powerful, and it amazes me how powerful us human are and how many resources that are available in this world to help us.
Wow, that's really fascinating. I'd love to look more into it to see what exactly it is.
Yeah, I,
It's
I think everyone should learn some kind of energy healing. It's much better. I don't take Tylenol for my headaches anymore. I used to get migraines, so I would just sit there for like 5 minutes, do my own thing, and then gone. Like I don't carry Tylenol anymore.
How do
I
you learn
love
about this?
it.
Where did you get certification and other things? Where does one go to find information on this?
So for pranic healing, there's only 8 masters in the whole world. They are not training any more masters. You can become an advanced teacher, but that's about it. And we are so blessed to have two in New Jersey,
Oh,
and they are in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. That's where Pranic Healing Center is. And people who are in New Jersey, New York area, they can even go there for full moon meditation, or every Wednesday they have free healing and meditation. And I'm so proud of saying this that I learned directly from the masters, not from the teachers. And there's a huge difference when you learn directly from the master. And I am fully trained in it, but I'm not certified in it yet because the certification processes you get paired with advanced healer, and it's a 6 month process, or I think it's a year process. For 1 year, you're doing, I don't know how many cases. I think you have to do 100 cases
oh
with
wow.
the advanced healer, and they telling you, see it in my inner eye. I haven't, like, I've been working on it with meditation and all. I cannot see with my open eyes yet, so it's not that easy for me, but some people can do that. They have advanced to that level. It's much easier for them to do a healing. And then you get certified, and then you become part of like global network of healers, and anyone can find you. So I am, like, I can do healings, but I don't say I'm certified in it yet. So
Very
that's
interesting.
another year of like full dedication.
Wow. That's really interesting. Okay, tell us about loving yourself and how you get women to love themselves.
Okay, so loving ourselves, first, I wanted to explain, like, we have this whole industry of self love. And, some people think going for a massage is self love, exercising, eating good. Like, we have all these categories. But the way I understand it, there's 3 levels of self love. And my goal with women I work with is to take them to the third level, which is the highest level of self love. That's where they become inside out love. Then they're unstoppable. So first level is self-care. That's where you are already looking at your weight. Maybe I need to lose weight. How do I look? Maybe I need to eat healthy, my sleep, like all the physical aspect of it.
Mhm.
That's self-care. And the second level is self-awareness. That's when you start to monitor your thoughts. That's when you go like, oh my God, I think very negative about myself. And it's very surprising. Most of us, we are not aware because that negative voice has been there for such a long time. And unfortunately, the more women I meet who are very successful in their career, like I remember one time I met with this graduate from Princeton, and I was like, wow, such an accomplished person. And we ended up talking about the negative voice. And in my head, I'm thinking, why would you have a negative voice? So that is the second level where you become aware of it. I call it self awareness of your own thoughts about yourself. And the highest level is self acceptance, which I am also working on it. And I think that's ongoing work because stuff happen in our life every day that we have to kind of like accept from ourselves, whatever the outcomes come. So that's where you're like, it's okay that, the way I'm parenting, you're not judgmental at all. You accept everything in you. You accept your fat body. You accept your bad behavior. You accept your skin color. You just accept yourself. And that's kind of like, I mean, it's going to sound cheesy. That's kind of like a union between your body and your soul. And you kind of just came in your core and became one. And once that happens, then it's like, okay, there's no going back. Once you have been that far, there's no going back. Yes, you might binge here and there sometimes. Uh, but there's no going back from that point, and that's where you feel so full. So I was saying that that's when it becomes very easy to accept others too and not be judgmental, and the understanding gets deeper. We just look at, okay, if I'm making a mistake, they're making a mistake, it's okay. We all are human. That's when the inner conversation completely changes. That's when, let's say, I know moms have this guilt, and we have talked about it in the past too. Let's say if I just yelled at my son, right? In the past, I used to be like, oh my God, you're such a bad mom, and why can't you just put yourself together? Why you're yelling at him? Now it goes to, oh, I just yelled at him. Okay, I need to watch out. And what did happen that led me to like do that? Where the yelling was coming from. So there's like this whole different route my thinking goes into. And those are the parts we are not taught generally when we are talking about self love. This all comes part of self love, accepting yourself 100%.
So, how do you get people through those stages? How do you work with them? Is it usually one on one? Is it a coaching program? What kind of program is it?
So I typically take people one on one, but I don't take more than three people for my one on one program. And now it's 5 months. We go through this whole journey of like, getting to know ourselves and then making that transformation step by step. And I'm opening up a good group coaching program as well called Inside Out Love, and I'm very excited about. And I mean, it's going to be the same curriculum we use in one-on-one, but the group setting would be a little different. And what I basically do, my goal as a coach, I use strategic intervention tools. That's what my study is in. But as a coach, my goal is to connect you with the real you, connect you with the authentic you, because there's so many layers that comes with social conditioning, depending on where you were raised and what your culture was, what was the number of kids you were, like, are you the middle child, the top one, or the youngest one, are you a girl or a boy? We all get labels. And I even don't like, I'm very anti-label. When people say, oh, I'm an extrovert, oh, I'm an introvert, I know they become our identities. Our career becomes our identities, motherhood becomes our identity. So that's why, like, when a woman, she doesn't have kids, like, she goes into depression because she's looking forward to that identity that she didn't get. It's a label we are always looking for. But we all have this gift inside of us. We all have this inner mission that we came in this world to fulfill. And when we connect with our soul, instead of like these labels that come from outside, we get to that inner happiness, like that inner happy place that no one can ever take away from you. So no matter what happens in your life, you'll be just happy because you'll be connected with your source.
That's really beautiful. Will this be an online type of program, or this is also in person, the new one that you're starting up?
So right now I'm keeping everything online. I am in process of working with another person to start something in Oradell, I think maybe March or April. So that will be for New Jersey people to have a group set up over there, but mostly it's online. It's on Zoom.
Okay, nice. It's easier for people to connect these days online as well.
Yeah.
So that'll make it easier. Okay, thank you. Anything else you would like to add?
So one thing I would like to say to anyone who's listening, please love yourself. If you don't love yourself, no one else is going to love you. Don't even expect from others. And it happens so much with us women. And sometimes we say, oh, it's maybe in our culture, like, I'm from Desi culture and you're too. But it happens all over. Like, all the women, we have same way of thinking. No matter how different we look and where we live, we always want that, handsome guy coming on a horse, save us. We are born with that fantasy, and it's been shown to us so much that we are always looking to get that love from outside. And unless we start loving ourselves, it's not going to change. That's why we get into those needy relationships, and that we are not satisfied, and we all know how it ends. It's very important to love ourselves. And for someone who's thinking, okay, I cannot start any program or coaching, anything right now, what can I do? Just spend like 5 minutes with yourself each day. Just sit down, no phone, nothing. Just sit down. If you want, close your eyes. If you want, write. Just sit down with yourself. and just watch your thoughts or just breathe or look in the mirror. Look at yourself, who you are, where you are, like who is the real person inside of you that's trying to live through you. So that's
Wow.
where we all can start.
Wow. That's really good. I think you have to improve your relationship with yourself before you can improve your relationship with others.
Yeah.
So awesome.
And that is something I have realized because now I'm doing like market research and I'm interviewing other women while I'm creating this program. We human, we are very goal based. We need to have a goal that we are working towards all the time. And like, how often do we hear parents say that, okay, one of your goal is to love yourself and accept yourself? I have never heard it uh, ever. Even
Yeah.
from like today's parents, I haven't heard it. But we do have goal. You're gonna do good in school. You're gonna get a house. You're gonna get a car. So it's not in our part of our goal regime that we all have. So put it on your goal for 2020 that this year I'm going to fall in love with myself 100% and accept myself. Start teaching to your kids too if you have any or younger siblings. I'm teaching my son all the time, like all this stuff, and it's a huge difference I'm seeing in him.
Wow. Thank you so much. I loved it. I loved every part of it. I can't wait to love myself even more.
Yeah, me too. I'm going deeper every day. I'm like, oh, I thought I got there. And then you go deeper, and like one thought comes flying, and I'm like, where did this come from? Let's follow the trail
it's
and get to the bottom of it.
it's an ongoing process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is growth. Growth is
Yeah.
forever.
Yes. Always learning.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so
All
much
right.
for this opportunity. And I hope people enjoyed whoever listened to this.
Yes, I'm sure they will.